The liver is a major metabolic organ exclusively found in vertebrates, which performs many essential biological functions, such as detoxification of the organism, and the synthesis of various proteins and various other biochemicals necessary for digestion and growth. In humans, it is located in the right upper quadrant of the abdomen, below the diaphragm and mostly shielded by the lower right rib cage. Its other metabolic roles include carbohydrate metabolism, the production of a number of hormones, conversion and storage of nutrients such as glucose and glycogen, and the decomposition of red blood cells. Anatomical and medical terminology often use the prefix hepat from letter 1F21 pi alpha tau omicron, from the Greek word for liver, such as hepatology and hepatitis. The liver is also an accessory digestive organ that produces bile, an alkaline fluid containing cholesterol and bile acids, which emulsifies and aids the breakdown of dietary fat. The gallbladder, a small hollow pouch that sits just under the right lobe of liver, stores and concentrates the bile produced by the liver, which is later excreted to the duodenum to help with digestion. The liver's highly specialized tissue, consisting mostly of hepatocytes, regulates a wide variety of high-volume biochemical reactions, including the synthesis and breakdown of small and complex organic molecules, many of which are necessary for normal vital functions. Estimates regarding the organ's total number of functions vary, but is generally cited as being around 500. For this reason, the liver has sometimes been described as the body's chemical factory. It is not known how to compensate for the absence of liver function in the long term, although liver dialysis techniques can be used in the short term. Artificial livers have not been developed to promote long-term replacement in the absence of the liver. As of 2018, liver transplantation is the only option for complete liver failure. The liver is a dark reddish-brown, wedge-shaped organ with two lobes of unequal size and shape. A human liver normally weighs approximately 1.5 kilograms, 3.3 pounds, and has a width of about 15 centimeters, 6 inches. There is considerable size variation between individuals, with the standard reference range for men being 970, 1,860 grams, 2.14, 4.10 lb, and for women 600, 1,770 g, 1.32, 3.90 pounds. It is both the heaviest internal organ and the largest gland in the human body. It is located in the right upper quadrant of the abdominal cavity, resting just below the diaphragm, to the right of the stomach and overlying the gallbladder. The liver is connected to two large blood vessels, the hepatic artery and the portal vein. The hepatic artery carries oxygen-rich blood from the aorta via the celiac trunk, whereas the portal vein carries blood rich in digested nutrients from the entire gastrointestinal tract and also from the spleen and pancreas. These blood vessels subdivide into small capillaries, known as liver sinusoids, which then lead to hepatic lobules. Hepatic lobules are the functional units of the liver. Each lobule is made up of millions of hepatocytes, which are the basic metabolic cells. The lobules are held together by a fine, dense, irregular fibroelastic connective tissue layer extending from the fibrous capsule covering the entire liver, known as Glisson's capsule after British Dr. Francis Glisson. This tissue extends into the structure of the liver by accompanying the blood vessels, ducts and nerves at the hepatic hilum. The whole surface of the liver, except for the bare area, is covered in a serous coat derived from the peritoneum, and this firmly adheres to the inner Glisson's capsule. The liver is grossly divided into two parts when viewed from above, a right and a left lobe, and four parts when viewed from below, left, right caudate and quadrate lobes. The falciform ligament makes a superficial division of the liver into a left and right lobe. From below, the two additional lobes are located between the right and left lobes, one in front of the other. A line can be imagined running from the left of the vena cava and all the way forward to divide the liver and gallbladder into two halves. This line is called Cantley's line. Other anatomical landmarks include the ligamentum venosum and the round ligament of the liver, which further divide the left side of the liver in two sections. An important anatomical landmark. The porta hepatis divides this left portion into 4 segments, which can be numbered starting at the caudate lobe, as I in an anticlockwise manner. From this parietal view, 7 segments can be seen, because the 8th segment is only visible in the visceral view. Blood supply. The liver gets its blood supply from the hepatic portal vein and hepatic arteries. The hepatic portal vein delivers around 75% of the liver's blood supply and carries venous blood drained from the spleen, gastrointestinal tract, and its associated organs. The hepatic arteries supply arterial blood to the liver, accounting for the remaining quarter of its blood flow. Oxygen is provided from both sources. About half of the liver's oxygen demand is met by the hepatic portal vein, and half is met by the hepatic arteries. The hepatic artery also has both alpha and beta adrenergic receptors. Therefore, flow through the artery is controlled, in part by the splanchnic nerves of the autonomic nervous system. Blood flows through the liver sinusoids and empties into the central vein of each lobule. The central veins coalesce into hepatic veins, which leave the liver and drain into the inferior vena cava. The biliary tract is derived from the branches of the bile ducts. The biliary tract, also known as the biliary tree, is the path by which bile is secreted by the liver, then transporting to the first part of the small intestine. The duodenum, the bile produced in the liver, is collected in bile canaliculi, small grooves between the faces of adjacent hepatocytes. The canaliculi radiate to the edge of the liver lobule, where they merge to form bile ducts. Within the liver, these ducts are termed intrahepatic bile ducts, and once they exit the liver, they are considered extrahepatic. The intrahepatic ducts eventually drain into the right and left hepatic ducts, which exit the liver at the transverse fissure and merge to form the common hepatic duct. The cystic duct from the gallbladder joins with the common hepatic duct to form the common bile duct. The biliary system and connective tissue is supplied by the hepatic artery alone. Bile either drains directly into the duodenum via the common bile duct, or is temporarily stored in the gallbladder via the cystic duct. The common bile duct and the pancreatic duct enter the second part of the duodenum together at the hepatopancreatic ampulla, also known as the ampulla of Vater. Metabolism. Further information: proteins produced and secreted by the liver. The liver plays a major role in carbohydrate, protein, amino acid, and lipid metabolism. Carbohydrate metabolism. The liver performs several roles in carbohydrate metabolism. The liver synthesizes and stores around 100 g of glycogen via glycogenesis, the formation of glycogen from glucose. When needed, the liver releases glucose into the blood by performing glycogenolysis, the breakdown of glycogen into glucose. The liver is also responsible for gluconeogenesis, which is the synthesis of glucose from certain amino acids. Lactate or glycerol. Adipose and liver cells produce glycerol by breakdown of fat, which the liver uses for gluconeogenesis. Liver also does glyconeogenesis, which is synthesis of glycogen from lactic acid. Protein metabolism. The liver is responsible for the mainstay of protein metabolism, synthesis as well as degradation. All plasma proteins except gamma-globulins are synthesized in the liver. It is also responsible for a large part of amino acid synthesis. The liver plays a role in the production of clotting factors, as well as red blood cell production. Some of the proteins synthesized by the liver include coagulation factors, fibrinogen, prothrombin, VII, IXXXI, XII, as well as protein C, protein S, and antithrombin. The liver is a major site of production for thrombopoietin, a glycoprotein hormone that regulates the production of platelets by the bone marrow. Lipid metabolism. The liver plays several roles in lipid metabolism. It performs cholesterol synthesis, lipogenesis and the production of triglycerides. And a bulk of the body's lipoproteins are synthesized in the liver. The liver plays a key role in digestion, as it produces and excretes bile, a yellowish liquid, required for emulsifying fats and helps the absorption of vitamin K from the diet. Some of the bile drains directly into the duodenum, and some is stored in the gallbladder. The liver produces insulin-like growth factor 1, a polypeptide protein hormone that plays an important role in childhood growth and continues to have anabolic effects in adults.